Hello there. Welcome to the Drifting Spore. I'm Steve. It is May 30th here in Nova Scotia, and I would say beach season now has officially begun. We were here at the beach, Woodpecker Lodge. We were here on the long weekend, the weekend of the 17th, and it was cold, man. It was not the not the experience I prefer when coming to the beach. And don't get me wrong, it's a little bit breezy this morning, Saturday morning, a little bit breezy, a little bit chilly, so I'm layered up a little bit, but the sun is threatening to come out. I'm just going through my little bit of a morning routine, and my beach routine for all these years we've been coming to the beach has been basically get up, make coffee, come sit out here. I'm on the shed deck, sit on the shed deck, and just observe, watch the world wake up, man. And I've got a couple bird feeders and a little bird picnic table over there. I'll show you in a minute that I enjoy watching. And but now this year we've done a big upgrade and we've got internet at the beach. So I now have Wi-Fi. So last night some people caught it, some didn't. I was just fooling around, but last night I went live on YouTube and live on the campfire just to play with settings and stuff. I don't know how that really went. It was fun. It was okay. I didn't mind doing it, but I'm not sure. I was really unsure how to end the live. So I've got to look more into that. And the video uploaded, but it uploaded as private, a preview video uploaded. So I don't know all the ins and outs of going live on YouTube just yet. But now that we have Wi-Fi at the beach, that's a possibility. I can do that. So that has changed. Having internet here has changed my Saturday morning routine, and I'm able to incorporate some of my normal at home Saturday morning routine into my beach Saturday morning routine. So I'm just feeling this out as I go. This morning I got up early. It's coming on almost 8 o'clock in the morning now, but I was up around quarter after 6, uploaded my daily video, made my coffee, came outside. My coffee in my Yeti, of course, is still hot, even though it's been in the cup for over an hour. And came out on the shed deck. And what I would do at home as part of my morning routine would be to watch Mark Young's video. Mark always uploads on Saturday morning. And in fact, I think he uploaded late last night. So that video was there ready to go. And then I always, after watching his video, by the time I've watched his video, another video is up that I watch on Saturday mornings. And that was Krista Lynn's. The YouTube channel is called Shamanic Spirit. And Krista Lynn uploads a video every Saturday morning. And she creates a crystal healing talisman in her video. And today's video, we imbued the quartz crystal. I'll show you my crystal so this makes more sense. Not that any of this has to make sense at all. Anyway, I have a clear quartz point like that. And during her video, she explains the healing qualities of the animal she's discussing that week. And we imbue the crystal with the healing energy of that animal for the week to help support us and remind us of qualities that we might like to embody for that week. It's all about the healing energy is all about supporting you through your week. So I watched her video, created the crystal healing talisman, and then while I was sitting here in between all of that, I just came out. I got the bird feeders all set up, sat down, was enjoying the coffee, and I heard like a thump, thump, thump. And I looked, and a rabbit ran right in front of me, like not two good strides in front of me, and just sat there. And I got to sit and watch this rabbit. I caught it on video, but I didn't catch it in landscape mode. I caught it in vertical. So I'll probably upload that as a short. So go over to the shorts and look at my rabbit experience. And the rabbit has been running around the yard here at the beach all morning so far. Shouldn't say all morning. It's only been about an hour and a half that I've been outside. But it's been thumping around here like crazy. And it's been a few years since we had a rabbit down here. So that's really cool to see. So I was planning this morning, not really planning. I don't plan things too much. I just do when I have an idea and it excites me, and I usually just and I can see the lines, I can see how to accomplish that idea. Usually, when the idea hits, I can see it through to completion. All the steps I need to take to complete that idea are usually provided. So this morning, been real busy, busy week, busy with the kids, busy with life in general. Didn't get a chance to get in the woods this week, so I was going to from the beach, head out and do a little roadside fishing. Maybe we'll do that next weekend. About halfway to the beach, I was like, yeah, I might be able to go look for a trout, do some roadside fishing. Because in Nova Scotia, we're very coastal. You're never more than 60 kilometers from the coast and from the ocean. So a lot of these little streams that run under the road or that cross your path, you can pitch a line in just about anywhere and maybe catch a trout, right? So I was going to do that this morning. And about halfway to the beach yesterday, I realized I didn't pack my fishing rods or anything. So that's out for this morning. So that's okay. Just a pivot. I was going to not make a video at all today, but I'd really like to have something to upload for tomorrow. So I thought, why not bring you in, give you some time at the beach. Oh yeah, back to my morning routine. So anyway, I watched Mark's video. It was a really good video. I enjoyed it. Then I watched Crystal Lynn's video over at Shamanic Spirit. Check her out. She's really cool too. I've been watching her videos and creating these crystal talismans for like 2 years now. And then I did a Sadhguru meditation. I did 15 minutes. Sadhguru has an app out now called Miracle of Mind that you can get on iPhone or Android. And it's a free app, free to use. And it has a meditation that you can do, a daily meditation. I've been doing it for a while. I haven't been doing it religiously every single day, but I've gotten up to 7 days in a row on it, and it tracks your progress and stuff like that. But I meditate in some way, shape, or form daily. So anyway, I did Sadhguru's Miracle of Mind meditation, which is just on your inward deep breath. You would hold the thought in your mind, inhaling, I am not this body, hold it, and then on the exhale, I am not even this mind. So you're inhaling, I am not the body. I am not even the mind. Right? Inhale, exhale. And I did that for 15 minutes. And Sadhguru says the words. So the whole point of that is 15 minutes of that. And Sadhguru is speaking the words, but it gives your mind and your thoughts a break. It takes you out of that repetitive or continuous narration that goes on in our heads and gives you a little space, man. So I did 15 minutes of that sitting here. Got very nicely centered, feeling great, and decided, okay, now we'll make a video. So I don't know if that my windsock is blowing into the camera or not. I have a Labrador windsock that's blowing around a bit. Hopefully it's not disrupting your view. So the beach is just starting to wake up now. Only had 2 cars go by in an hour and a half. And where I didn't get out to the woods this week. I'll hope to get out next week, earlier in the week maybe. First opportunity I get. There's mushrooms popping now, so I'd like to see some. Go see what's out there. And I thought, well, I'll just make a little video on the shed deck, having my coffee, give you a little look around the beach, and maybe show you when I do go on a drift and get out again. See, when I go into the woods, that that forest therapy, that forest bathing that I do out there, and exploring and looking and seeing the beauty that's out there that the universe is providing, that gives me a great deal of balance. And the whole time I'm out there, the trees are providing phytoncides that are supporting me and supporting my health. And I'm gathering up negative ions, which, contrary to the name negative ions are very good for you. We're constantly being bombarded in our lives with positive ions, and trees and nature and water provide negative ions. So I like to go into the woods to gather those. That is my number one preference. But my number two preference would be at the beach. And at the beach, at sea level, is where you gain the most negative ions. Luckily for us here at the beach, I am surrounded by trees, mostly hardwoods, not very many softwoods, not many conifers, but lots of hardwood, and they're all leafing out right now. So, all kinds of phytoncides and benefits to be had here. So, I thought I would show you just while we're here. I'll show you around the beach in a minute, but I thought I would also show you what I'm going to be carrying when I'm not carrying my pack. On my last drift, I had it with me. This is a fanny pack that Marty from Marty's Ramblings gifted me, and I've got it set up for summer drifting. So I thought I'd take you through the pack and show you what's inside and what I'll be carrying with me on these coming drifts, man. So, if you'd like to see that and have a look around the beach and maybe see a rabbit if he comes out again, I'll try to capture him. But if not, I've already got him on video, so go to the shorts and look at that. It was a really cool experience, man. When you talk about shamanism, I like shamanism, animism. I like learning. I like learning about all these historical things that people believed in, right? So, animism is the thought that everything contains spirit. Every rock, every leaf, every blade of grass, everything contains spirit. And shamanism is a way to interpret all that. And it's kind of the belief that, animals and nature and the universe, everything is guiding you at all times and providing you messages. And we're just, back, way back, indigenous cultures and things like that, people understood that and paid attention to those messages. And we've forgotten that today. So I like to learn about that stuff and see if I can interpret those messages too. And right, having a rabbit bound right out in front of me and stop and make eye contact with me this morning, that's a pretty big deal to me. That's pretty awesome. And that's a good one. I don't know right off the top of my head the shamanic meaning of that, of an encounter with a rabbit, but all that stuff is Googleable. It's out there, man. So maybe I'll look that up. But anyway, let's have a look through my haversack. I'll show you my drift load out for summer. And then maybe I'll show you around the beach a little bit. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy. Oh, my coffee is just wonderful this morning. Hmm. So, the fanny pack. This is just a Fieldline Pro Series fanny pack. So, I'm forever trying to carry more than I probably should. But let's start with what I would put on the outside of the pack. So, my dry bag. This is my dry bag that contains my alcohol stove and solvable methyl hydrate. I've just used like a half pint or a pint bottle. I don't drink or anything. I found this on the side of the road and was like, oh, I can use that to put methyl hydrate in, so I picked it up. Excuse me. put a methyl hydrate label on it so that you know what it is. And I've got my small alcohol stove in there as well. So that's really light and will attach quite nicely to the outside of my pack, the fanny pack. So that way I have a means to heat up water and have a nice cup of tea or coffee when I'm out. I've got my QSP Bison just attached to the fanny pack right now. Obviously, I'd wear this on my own belt, but this is just a way to transport everything and keep everything together. So it's kind of like a grab and go kit that I'll most likely keep in the car for most of the summer. Right? I'll take it in and out when I need to, but there's the QSP Bison D2. I've heavily modified the sheath, of course. Got a couple Ranger bands, paracord, a sail needle, ferro rod, all on the outside of it. Quite a bit of stuff going on. QSP Bison D2 itself, it was a lovely knife. I've had this knife quite a while, man. Mark Young gifted me this knife, and I have never looked back. Never thought of carrying anything else. I was, when I first started doing the bushcraft stuff, I was carrying a Mora, which is great and right up my alley. I'm pretty cheap, so I like things that are very functional yet very inexpensive. So the Mora was a great fit, but once Mark gifted me this QSP Bison D2, I never looked back, man. I feel very, very off if I don't have this on my belt when I'm out in the woods and out on a drift. So it'll stay with me at all times. And with this fanny pack. So I've got this clip just to the outside, but this would be likely in my pocket, my compass and whistle, right? Emergency whistle and a compass. This is an old compass my dad had. Still functional though. I know my bearings here where I'm at, so north is that way, the beach is that way, so that's east, west, south, right? Functional compass and a whistle. I like the idea of having those couple things with me at all times. I've never had to use it, but I've often thought like the whistle might be good if you encountered a bear or something in the woods. But honestly, when I encounter animals in the woods, I find, and don't get me wrong, I haven't encountered many bears. Last year, I had a couple encounters with bears, black bears, and I just went stealth mode, man. Like, tuck yourself behind a tree, kind of observe silently, and don't make a big ruckus or anything. And the bears got creeped out. They realized something was wrong, that somebody was watching, and they moved off on their own. I didn't have to shout or holler or get excited, right? I just went stealth mode, like I was hunting almost. And they caught on pretty quickly and moved off, man. But failing that, I always thought like a few quick, sharp blasts on the whistle unexpectedly would probably startle most animals to run away. Got to keep working on the coffee. Okay, so, oh yeah, my water bottle. So, this is just I'm not sure if this is stainless or aluminum. It's made in China, but my water bottle, I just have it on a carabiner that will fit and clip to the outside of the fanny pack as well. Clip it on, and I hardly notice it's there. And that way it keeps it out of my pack. I could also clip it on a belt loop. I've done that in the past too, if I wanted to. But last time I was out, it worked really well. Just clipped to the side of the fanny pack. So I have water and a water bottle. I could also use this water bottle to heat water in if I wanted to. It's single wall, but it says not for hot liquids. So I think it might be aluminum. I don't know. So I haven't used it for that purpose yet, although I have been tempted to. So now, this is a good sized fanny pack, right? I gotta keep checking to see if the rabbit comes out again. I'm thinking once we get into midday, the rabbit's not gonna come back, but you never know. So, small pouch in the fanny pack. I have a very small first aid kit. Now, this isn't like I'm not going out prepared to survive 2 weeks in the wilderness with this kit. This is a day hike, not even a day hike, a few hours in the woods, out looking for mushrooms and foraging. But I do have a first aid kit. I have a tick key right on the outside on a small carabiner. It's basically a stop the bleeding kit. One thing I will show you that I did add. So I added a pair of scissors. I've just put electrical tape over them. I think they're folding scissors, but I couldn't figure out how to make them fold. So I've left them open and just put electrical tape over the pointy end so it won't poke through. And one thing I learned the hard way: spring headache pills. I've got Advil, extra strength Advil liquid gels in there. And I was on a drift one time, and late at night, I got the worst migraine ever. I didn't have a thing to take for it, man. So I learned the hard way: take headache pills just in case. They can be the difference between staying the night or bailing at 2 in the morning, which is what I had to do that night. Because I've gotten migraines where you're pretty well incapacitated, and for a long period of time. So I had to break down camp in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, and get out of it and get home to take pills when that happened. So not a mistake I'm going to make again. So I always carry those. Little first aid kit, some band-aids, gauze, stuff like that. Stop the bleeding kit. That's it. So I also have in this front pouch orange marking tape and a bit of binder twine. So just a little twine for who knows what, whatever you need, right? Enough twine to maybe put together a lean-to shelter if you needed to, something like that. And marking tape, should the worst happen and you get lost, you can use marking tape to kind of explore your area and mark where you've been at least. And the last thing, is it the last? A little bit of toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. So that's everything in the front of the fanny pack. Now let's get into the main compartment. Now, there's not much in the main compartment. Let me show you what is in there. I thought this was pretty cool. So, I have, because I usually like to have a cup of tea or a coffee when I'm out in the woods. So, I always have my alcohol stove with me. If I know for sure, like it's as it gets hot and stuff, and I'm just out, the bugs are bad, I'm not going to be in the woods for hours. I'm usually going in the woods, looking for mushrooms, looking for something specific, finding it, getting out of the woods. So once the bugs really ramp up, mosquitoes and black flies, it can be pretty nasty in the woods. So you don't want to sit down and have a cup of tea. But there are times that I get out and I do manage to avoid the bugs enough to have a cup of tea and enjoy it. So, first thing in this, because I could be cooking or making a cup of tea, leather gloves. Nice gloves so that you don't burn yourself. Second thing, all important, gotta have it. Wouldn't carry it if I don't plan on stopping for a cup of tea, but my hammock chair. This is the one Mark Young gifted me. Sound like a broken record. Mark's been very kind and generous to me since I, began uploading videos. Hammock chair. One of my favorite pieces of thing kit that I take. Excuse me. And it's one that, right, the hammock chair I use all the time. There's nothing like having a nice comfy place to sit when you're in the woods. So, next I've got, we're almost done here, got one of these here bags, a shopping bag, cloth. There, you can't even call these cloth. I grabbed something hot with it once. These are basically made of plastic, which is not great. But these shopping bags, I carry one of these in case I run into a mushroom I want to forage. If I'm going out intentionally foraging, I'll bring my basket. But sometimes you're out and you just see a mushroom, and I'm looking, still looking for turkey tail. Got to run into turkey tail. My supplies are running low, so I'm always looking and always want something to put mushrooms in should I find them. And turkey tail is a mushroom that's not going to get damaged if you smush it or anything, so a bag is fine to put that in. Now that it's warm out, I'm using my Yeti this morning, and I have an insulated mug that I like to take when I'm out in the woods. But now that it's warm out, I can bring my cooks. Also a gift from Mark. Last drift I burned it. Adds character. Set it too close to my alcohol stove and actually burned it. But what I discovered, this is just my canteen cup. So I don't bother carrying the canteen. It's quite heavy when it's full of water, and I don't often need that much water. All the places I go, usually there is water available, but I don't often use the water that's available. I'll bring, because I'm just having a cup of tea. So I usually just bring water for my cup of tea. But what I noticed is my Cooksa, if you get it right, nests pretty nicely inside of my canteen cup. So that's pretty compact, really. And I can get that into the fanny pack, and I can put, I still have room on the sides to put, like, whatever, some sugar, coffee, whatever I'm taking for a drink. I can put in the canteen cup and still nest that in. And inside there, I had the little foraging bag, little shopping bag. I had that stuffed inside the cooksa, like that. So that's 3 items. Tea or coffee in there would be 4 things. I can fit in a very small package, which fits in the fanny pack nicely. So, the last thing is a little piece of cedar shingle. I've had really great luck using these and using them to create a flat surface in the woods. Makes a little tiny table. I can put my alcohol stove on it. I can put my cup on it to pour, right? Works really well. I like having a flat level surface when I'm out in the woods. I also have just enough room in that for a small saw, a little folding saw. I can fit that in there. It makes things tight, so I'm considering different ways that I can attach it to the outside of this as well, because I like to have a saw. I always carry two, always on my belt. This is my everyday carry, would be my Leatherman Wave, right? I picked this up secondhand for $50, and I've been wearing it on my belt ever since. It's laser sharp and has a saw, screwdrivers, has everything I could possibly need. So I do have a saw with this. So I don't really need to carry a folding saw. It's a super functional little saw. It's just small, that's all. But there's not too many situations. Like when I think of going out into the woods and where I'm at, most cases I know where I'm at. I know, and I know what direction things are, right? So when I'm out in the woods, I know that in this location, if I go east, I'm going to come out on the road. Or if I go west, it's going to be further and I'm going to come out on the road. And don't go south because it goes just further into the woods, right? Those are all things I know from looking at maps and just researching my area that I don't have to really put a lot of thought into. So unless I get turned around, I don't look at my compass a lot. When I'm at the beach and going to places that I haven't been, I still have those bearings, but the compass could come out a lot more. And I try, just as practice, before I leave a trail that I'm on, and because I'm out, off and off trail. If I see a mushroom, I'm going to look at it, right? And you can get turned around pretty quickly when you do that. So I try to make it a habit to look at my compass, get my bearings before I leave the trail, know what direction I'm heading off the trail so that I know which direction I have to go to return to the trail. And that's been working pretty well for me. I'm not a mapping compass navigator by at any means. Don't know how to do that yet, and would be something I'm interested in learning. I just haven't done it yet. And where I'm at, there isn't really a huge need for that. I'm never unaware of where I am, right? So, anyway, that's it. That's what's in my fanny pack right now. Had I gone for a drift this morning, that's what I would have been carrying so I could have a nice cup of tea. But I forgot all my fishing rods and stuff at home. I'll also combine my basket with this, and that'll get me out foraging and stuff too. So if I'm not having a cup of tea, all my tea supplies that can go, and I'd just be maybe throw my water in my hammock chair in there, or a saw water hammock chair, right? Can always adjust what's going into the fanny pack. Okay, I'm gonna put all this stuff back in, and then we'll give you a little look around the yard here at the beach, man. Right on. I'm still looking for that bunny. Well, the bees are awake now, and the breeze is starting to slacken off a little bit. It's supposed to rain later today, but right now it's quite nice. Anyway, I'm going to put everything back, and I'll bring these back. Over in this corner, we've got the old climbing dome here at the beach. That's one thing that was brutal to assemble. So the bunny I've been seeing has been coming out of this corner. There's lots of green things for a rabbit to eat here, that's for sure. It's been a few years since we had one here. That's where he's been coming out. So I have a little wood processing station here. Nothing fancy. Trampoline for the kids. Wishing well was covering the well, the shed. See the treehouse in the distance there. Fire pit area. Oh, I should have brought my coffee with me. Let's get coffee. My large tripod. Grab my coffee. Oh yeah, it's almost gone. So this is my bird feeding station. So we're just at the start of the season, so there's still stuff that needs done, such as the screens need to be put back on the woodpecker lodge, which is the tree house. It's my bird feeding station. Little picnic table I made for them. Made that myself. Another one of those ideas that struck me, and I just knew I could do it, so I did it. Woodpecker Lodge has a nice little deck on it. Myself and Rena built the treehouse ourselves. This will be the third summer for it. It's one of those things we promised the kids we would build, and you know, kids, they use it now and then. Now that there's Wi-Fi in it, maybe they'll use it more. Super happy with the Wi-Fi. It goes everywhere. There's the car and trailer. We used to have a bigger trailer, but we downsized it, man. It was so unnecessary to have a huge trailer, so we got just a small one now. I got a little zip line over there. As you can see, the beach is waking up now. I can hear people mowing now. Everybody normally waits till 9 a.m. to mow, which is nice. Got some yellow flowers over here. These, yep, those are dandelion. I thought they might have been hawkweed, but they're actually dandelion. Zip line. I just bring this out. We're on the pavement here at the beach. We're not right on the beach, but we're not far, that's for sure. and I kind of like it. It's more like camping. This here, look at this. These berries here that are coming, those are service berries, or June berries, or shad berries. They're the first berry to come on. And look, there's alder catkins there. So, we're looking this way, that's up pavement. That's down pavement, and you can just see the ocean right there. Not far at all. And that's the Northumberland Strait. And there's a look at the yard from the road. It is a pretty good amount of work to keep this property maintained and going, but I do most of that through the week. That's why sometimes it gets hard to get out during the week into the woods, because I have to dedicate some time to coming down here. And there's, besides the shed deck, my second favorite spot here is right there around the fire pit, man. Have some really relaxing time sitting around that. Okay, let's go finish my coffee and wrap this video up. And just show you as when I'm sitting on the shed deck, this is what I see. I finally got a ride on. It's under that tarp. I got a ride on for down here this year. So that's really nice. I got a cheap old Craftsman. I can watch the birds over there and just watch the world go by, man. Very relaxing to chill out here on the shed deck. Crow flying over. We have an enormous amount of birds here. I downloaded the Merlin app recently, and it is amazing. It's very common for us here at the beach to have a dozen different birds singing in the early morning and in the evening, especially in the evening. There's like 12, 14 different species of birds singing. It's awesome, man. Love it. As the sun's getting higher, it's starting to warm up. There are a few things I have to putter away at this morning, maintenance wise, but I've had a good few hours of just relaxing here on the shed deck, man, enjoying my coffee. When I'm here, this is how I like to start my day. Especially Saturday mornings, this is my ritual. And I'm really grateful I had the opportunity to share it with you, man. Hopefully, I'll be out in the woods this week at some point. Not being out in the woods this week, last week, is not great, but sometimes you just don't have time, man. And that's the way it was last week. Very busy week. But we'll be pumping the brakes, trying to slow things down next week, and I'll try to get out, man. Just sitting here, witnessing, watching, experiencing. Lovely. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for my morning ritual at the beach. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm going to be carrying in my fanny pack. That's just base what I would carry. That obviously will change depending on what I'm doing, but that's my basic rollout for a drift and a cup of tea with the fanny pack. That's what I'll be carrying. Remember to go check out the shorts for that for that rabbit I saw, man. I'll upload that after I upload this. I'm just gonna wait for the family to wake up now. Maybe putter around. Still gonna watch the birds for a while. People are starting to move. Traffic is picking up. But I really enjoyed my super quiet time while everybody else was asleep, man. That's a big part of why I get up early, I think. I'm Reno always says I am most comfortable in my own company. So this first couple hours of the day with no others, that's a great way to start my day. That's what I like. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, and remember, folks, you will never find anything unless you get out and look. Go have a look, man. It's worth it. Bye for now.